Alexander Harrington, 45, self-made tech billionaire, used to getting everything he wants, is sweating under his $10,000 suit. 6 months ago, life was predictable. Boardrooms by day, lonely dinners with Elena by night, and the slow death of a marriage that once burned bright. Then came Sofia Rivera, 28, long dark hair, legs that never end, and a laugh that makes him feel 25 again. She's the fire he thought had died inside him. Tonight, he lied to Elena about a late investor meeting just so he could bring Sophia here to Midnight Mirage, the most exclusive dance club in the city, where the rich come to pretend they're still wild. He spins Sophia across the floor, her red dress flaring like flames. She presses against him, whispering how tonight she's all his. He believes her. He wants to believe her. For the first time in years, his blood is singing. They move like they've rehearsed this their whole lives, hips locked, breath shared, the world shrinking to just the two of them. And then the doors open. Elena walks in. Not the tired, quiet Elena who kisses him on the cheek every morning and sleeps on her side of their California king bed. This Elena is radiant. Black gown clinging to every curve he forgot she still had. Diamonds in her ears. Hair swept up showing the neck he used to kiss for hours. And on her arm is a man Alex has never seen, tall, dark-haired. Smiling down at her like she hung the moon, Alex's hand tightens on Sophia's waist so hard she winces. "Alex, what's wrong?" she asks, following his stare. Her voice fades. She sees Elena too. She's seen photos. She knows exactly who that woman is. Across the room, Elena laughs at something the stranger whispers. The sound slices Alex straight through the chest. He hasn't heard her laugh like that in years. Not for him, his mind races. How long has this been going on? Is this revenge? Does she follow him? Is this the first time or the 100th? Every secret hotel room, every deleted text, every late meeting flashes in front of him like evidence in court. He feels sickeningly realizes he has zero right to be angry, yet jealousy is choking him anyway. Sophia tries to pull him back into the dance, but his feet are cement. Elena and the stranger glide onto the floor. They move well together. Too well. The man's hand rests low on Elena's back, guiding, possessive, familiar. Alex's vision tunnels. The music distorts. He tastes meddled. He remembers their wedding day 22 years ago. Elena barefoot on a beach, paint still under her nails from finishing the canvas she gifted him that morning, promising forever while the waves crash behind them. He remembers the birth of their daughter, now away at university. He remembers the exact moment he stopped noticing his wife was still beautiful because he was too busy chasing the next deal, the next rush, the next thing that made him feel alive. And now here she is alive without him. Sophia's voice cuts in. Sharp now. "If you're going to stand here staring at your wife, at least let go of me." Hurt flashes in her eyes. For the first time, Alex sees her clearly, young, proud, suddenly aware she's just the side character in someone else's marriage. She straightens, lifts her chin. "I'm not a fool, Alex." He barely hears her. His legs are moving on their own, carrying him through the crowd toward Elena. Every step feels like walking to his own execution. The closer he gets, the slower time moves, until he's standing 3 feet away, close enough to smell Elena's perfume. The same one he bought her last Christmas, and she never wore for him. Elena turns. Their eyes lock. For one endless second, the ballroom disappears. There's only shock, recognition, and beneath it, years of unspoken pain passing between them like electricity. Then her lips part, and she says the 4 words that break him completely. "I could ask you the same thing, darling." Word count section 1, 1012. He didn't expect her to speak first. He expected tears, screaming, a scene. Instead, Elena's voice is ice wrapped in velvet. The stranger, Marcus, looks between them, confused but protective, hands still on Elena's waist. Alex wants to rip it off. Elena steps forward, leaving Marcus behind. The crowd parts without realizing it. Drama this raw pulls people like gravity. She stops inches from Alex. Up close, he sees the faint redness around her eyes. She's been crying inside, but her face is a perfect mask. "How long, Alex?" she asks quietly. So quietly only he can hear. "How many lies?" His throat closes. He has no defense. Sophia is still standing 10 feet away, arms crossed. Watching like this is the season finale she never wanted to star in. Elena glances at Sophia, then back at him. Something shifts in her expression, not just anger, but exhaustion. "I found the hotel receipts," she says. "The necklace you bought her for her birthday. The one that cost more than my first car." A bitter smile. "I especially like the engraving. To new beginnings." Very poetic. Alex opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. Marcus steps closer. "Elena, do you want to leave?" She doesn't look at him. She keeps her eyes on Alex. "No," she says. "I want to dance." And then, in the cruelest, most graceful move Alex has ever witnessed, Elena turns back to Marcus, places her hand in his, and lets him lead her deeper into the floor. The band shifts into a slow, aching bolero. Marcus pulls her close, closer than Alex has held her in a decade, and Elena lets him. Her head rests on his shoulder, her eyes close. She looks peaceful. Alex stands rooted, watching his wife dance with another man while his mistress watches him fall apart. Sophia finally walks over. Her voice is steady, but her eyes are wet. "I deserve better than being your midlife crisis," she says. And she's right. She turns and disappears into the crowd, red dress vanishing like a dying flame. Security appears. Someone must have complained about the tension. Alex lets them guide him toward the exit. He doesn't fight. Outside, the night air hits him like a slap. He leans against the wall, slides down until he's sitting on the cold marble steps, $1,000 shoes in a puddle. Inside, through the glass doors, he can still see Elena dancing. Marcus spins her gently, and for one heartbreaking moment, Elena smiles, really smiles up at him. Alex drops his head into his hands. The king of his empire, the man who has everything, has just lost the one thing that ever mattered. And for the first time in years, Alexander Harrington cries in public, tears mixing with rain that wasn't there a minute ago, while the woman he betrayed dances like she's finally free. But freedom, Alex is about to learn, has a price. And tomorrow morning, Elena is going to make him pay it. He didn't go home that night. He sat in the back of a chauffeured Maybach until sunrise, staring at the necklace he had bought for Sophia, still in its velvet box, the one engraved to new beginnings. He laughed once, a broken, ugly sound, then threw into the gutter where it belonged. At T7:12 a.m., his phone lit up. "Elena, come home. We need to talk." No lawyers yet, that he walked into their mansion like a man entering a courtroom already sentenced. Elena was in the kitchen, barefoot in silk pajamas, drinking coffee as if the world hadn't ended 12 hours earlier. She looked calm. Too calm. "Sit," she said. He Saturday. She slid a thick folder across the marble island. Inside, printed texts, hotel receipts, photos taken by a private investigator she had hired the day she found the necklace receipt. Months of evidence. His stomach turned. "I'm not leaving this house," she began, voice steady. "I built it with you. I raised our daughter in it. I painted every wall. You're the one who checked out, Alex, not me. So here are your choices." She laid 3 plane tickets on the table, one to Tokyo, one to Maldives, one to a rehab center in Arizona that specializes in sex and love addiction. You pick a ticket and you disappear for 90 days. You go fix whatever is broken inside you that made you think hurting me was okay. You go to therapy, you sit in silence, you scream into pillows, "I don't care." but you do not come back until you can look me in the eye and tell me why you stopped choosing me every single day." Alex opened his mouth to beg. She lifted one finger. "I'm not finished." She placed a fourth item on the table, their wedding photo from the beach, the one he used to keep on his desk until he replaced it with a monitor. Someone had drawn a red heart around her face in lipstick. "While you're gone, I'm going to remember who I was before I became Mrs. Harrington. I'm taking back my art studio. I'm traveling with friends. I'm dancing every damn night if I want to. I'm going on dates. Real dates. With men who look at me like I'm the only woman in the room, not an accessory they forgot they owned." His voice cracked. "Are you leaving me?" "Not yet," she said. "But I'm no longer waiting for you to come home to a wife who pretends she's fine. If you want this marriage, you're going to have to fight for it the way you fought for your first million. Harder, actually, because I'm worth more than your company ever was." She stood up, walked around the island, and for the first time in years kissed his forehead, soft, maternal, devastating. "I still love the boy who promised me forever on that beach," she whispered. "I just don't know if he's still in there. Find him, Alex, or let me go." 3 days later, he boarded the flight to Arizona. No phone, no laptop, no assistance. Just a duffel bag and the wedding photo in his pocket. 93 days of group therapy, of writing letters he never sent, of nights sobbing on a thin mattress because he finally admitted he had been running from emptiness with money and younger women instead of facing it with the woman who had never stopped loving him. On day 91, he called her from a landline. "Elena," he said, voice raw, "I found him. The boy is still here, and he's so sorry he ever let you feel alone." Silence on the line. "Then prove it." He flew home, commercial, economy middle seat, wedding ring back on his finger for the first time in years. When the car dropped him at the house, the gates were open. Music poured out, old salsa, their song from college. He walked in to find the living room cleared, fairy lights strung, Elena in barefoot jeans and one of his old college hoodies, painting a canvas in the middle of the floor. She looked up, paint on her cheek, eyes wary but soft. "Dance with me," he said. She hesitated, then put down the brush. He took her hand like it was the first time. No audience, no lies, just two people who had almost lost everything. They moved slowly at first, finding the rhythm again, then faster, laughing when they stepped on each other's toes, crying when they didn't. He spun her out, pulled her back in, pressed his forehead to hers. "I choose you," he said. "Today, tomorrow, every day I have left. I'm not perfect, but I'm here, and I'm never leaving again." She searched his face, saw the new lines around his eyes, the weight he'd lost, the humility he'd earned. "Then earn me," she whispered. And he did. 6 months later, they renewed their vows on the same beach, just the two of them and their daughter holding the phone to live stream it for family. No guests, no diamonds, just barefoot promises and the same fire that had never really died. Later that night, back in the city, they walked in a midnight mirage hand in hand. The same band was playing. The same lights were just as low. But this time when Alex spun Elena, the only woman in the room was his wife. And when she laughed against his chest, it sounded like forgiveness, like healing, like home. Some endings aren't endings at all. Some are just the moment two people decide the story is worth fighting for, is the one they're already in.